What's up, everyone? Ayman here. Today, I'm going to break down on how to know if Google Ads will make your money, can make your business, your company profitable before you even spend a dime. This is for local businesses, movers, plumbers, electricians, basically all kind of home service trades. For those who don't know me, again, this is Ayman. We specialize in Google advertising and AI to help moving companies and local businesses thrive, keep their calendar full, get more projects on 12 months a year, of course. All right, let's dive in. So, I know that many of you already know Google Ads, some of you might not, some of you have a different perception on how this works. I'm glad to say that Google Ads works. Now, of course, there is a difference by just opening an account and throwing some money in and, spray and pray, hoping that somehow it's going to work. Unfortunately, it's not like a tap that you can just open. So there is a preparation involved. And by preparation, I mean planning, strategy, backed by researching for your local market expertise, know what your customers needs, and many dynamics in place. So whether you want to do it yourself, or ideally, what I would suggest to have an expert do it for you. Um, this is how to know. This is how to know if you're going to be profitable or not before you even start. Okay, so in this case, I'm not going to break down the technicalities, the mumbo jumbo. No, we're going to see this from a profitability perspective and exclusively. So there are three metrics, three numbers that we want to look at. The first one is cost per lead, how much we are paying someone to get them knock on our door for our moving services, for our plumbing, electrician, HVAC services, anything, right? A lead, how much we pay for a lead. CPL, we call this CPL. Then the close rate, how much of those leads that knock on our doors, right? How much of them we book, how much of them we close, right? Now, typically, if your phone skills and sales skills are sharp, you're gonna close around 30, 50, 60, even 80%. It depends, of course, from the industry, but generally this is a sales game, of course, right? How sharp you are at the phone, speaking to customers and driving them, making the right decision and to book with you, of course. Then we're going to see the average job value and profit, because of course there are cost involved, labor cost, advertising cost, and how all those numbers work together to make sure that you're profitable as a moving company, as a plumber, electrician, any kind of local business. So these are the three main numbers that we are going to look at. So here we have a example, real scenario, of course. Now it depends from your specific market. Gonna take a moving company, for example. Let's say that you start advertise on Google Ads with a 3,000 monthly ad budget, which is roughly around $100 a day. That means on average 2/4 calls, quote requests per day. So let's on the low end. We're speaking here on the low end, of course, to keep things secure. So let's say 75 leads per month. Now, cost per lead logically is $40. It's going to range, of course, based on your market, how much competition. Like, for example, in a very competitive market such as Houston or Dallas or Tampa or Montreal, Canada, cost per lead can go 40, 50, sometimes 60, but in less trafficated area, it depends really from your local market, but let's say $40, okay? So here are the numbers. So we got 75 leads. Out of those 75 leads, assuming again that you have sharp phone skills, you're good at the phone, you have good sales skills, you know how to drive your customers to make the right decision and book with you, you're gonna close at least, right? This is the minimum required to be profitable, of course, right? Let's say 40%, right? I expect you guys to close 40% of those who knock on your door. That means 30 jobs, 30 moving jobs, right? So let's say that the average job, again, this depends from the market, etc. But the average moving job is 1,500. Of course, I know you guys, you have labor cost, guys, materials, fuel, this and that. 50% of labor cost. Now, If you're a smart moving business owner, you know how tweak here and there, and maybe you'll be able to drop that down to maybe 40, 30% labor cost. But to be sure, 50% labor cost, right? Which leaves you with 700 net profit for every job, right? 700 bucks that you bring with you net profit. So assuming that 75 leads, you got 30 jobs booked per job, so you have a $700 net profit. This is the math, right? These are the numbers. So 21,000 after labor cost, right? Now, if you spend $3,000 a month on Google Ads plus the fee of the expert, of the professional who does it for you, there are so many dynamics and factors to take care of, manage, supervise, overlook. So get someone do it for you. So let's say 3,000 in ad spend and 2,000 for the expert professional fee who does it for you. It's a total of 5,000 basically for the advertising cost. 21,000 minus 5,000, that leaves you with 16,000 in net profit after labor cost, after advertising budget, all the stuff, which is basically 5x return. It's basically based on this scenario. Of course, this concept and this principle is applicable to other industries and etc. But this is roughly give you an idea of how this works, right? Yeah. What are the dynamics in place to consider? So yeah, you have basically 5x return, 5 times return on investment. Right? You can see here. Basically, this is what you spend. Expert fee 5,000. Gross profit after labor costs and etc. You go home with 16,000. And of course, from this 16,000, you pay your bills, you do whatever you need, and what I would suggest smart business owner would reinvest in his business in better systems, better materials, better tools, more advertising budget if you want to increase more jobs, right? Hiring more people. That's how you grow. This is it. Next. Okay, so besides this, I've been able to hear from a lot of movers. Now, I don't know exactly, we specialize with movers. I don't know exactly about other home trades, but specifically with movers. Many of them, or at least a good part, deal with brokers, with the van lines. I'm not going to make any name, who I'm talking about, which they provide you the lead and etc. They do all the talking job basically. New guys go there and take care of the customer, drive the trucks, and basically you do all the job, and they take 40, 50, 60% of the profit for doing what? Just talking on the phone. See if yourself if it is fair or not. So we come up with this solution for movers or local businesses, that they are tired to buy leads from sketchy websites, shared leads. There are websites that they like sell leads, but they give the same leads to anyone. Just so you know, right? So basically, applying this Google Ads system allows you to have full control. It's something predictable. It's something that done in a strategic way. Yeah, so basically, this is for movers and local businesses who wants a predictable system to generate projects, moving jobs, plumbing jobs on demand. Again, full control on predictable, right? And of course, you keep 100% of the job revenue. You do business at your own turn. You don't have to wait for anyone. You have your own system to generate the jobs, basically, right? Basically, so yeah, stop buying broke leads from a sketchy website or broke partnership with which they drain 40, 60% of your profits. Next. So now, I hope this was all clear and understandable. This is how you know if you're going to be profitable, how much you're going to be profitable if you're considering to use Google Ads. Now, if you want to know how this works specifically for you, for your moving company, for your plumbing, electrical, HVAC business, anything, any home trade, you can book a free breakdown call. We run the real math with you. We do some research about your local market, and we'll come up with a plan eventually, and so you can make an informed decision.